Hello everyone, FPL.CARNAGE here, and welcome to another FPL video. In this video, we're going to look at my Game Week 26 selection, rather the double Game Week 26 team selection. We're going to take a look at some of the players that we can be looking to target ahead of the double Game Week 26. As we know, Arsenal are doubling in this game week, as well as Wolves. So we're going to talk about the best players to target from the Arsenal team and which players you can look at getting if you want to get players from the Wolves team. We're also going to take a look at how my team fared in Game Week 25. Welcome back again. So we're going to take a look at how my team fared in Game Week 25. But before that, if you're new around here and you enjoyed the video to the end, please like, share, subscribe to get notifications when more videos come on the channel, and we'll see each other as we continue to progress along in the season. Now, in Game Week 25, my team scored a total of 63 points. I had Sanchez in goal in that game against Wolves. Unfortunately, they lost their clean sheet in that game. Honestly, you just can't catch a break with the Chelsea defense. They keep clean sheets when you don't expect and lose the clean sheets when you least expect. Sanchez returned 2 points as my starting goalkeeper. I had a double Arsenal defense. Like I said, Sunderland haven't really been the best team away from home. They had scored 6 goals prior to that Arsenal game away from home. They haven't been able to replicate their really good home form so far in the Premier League this season away from home. So Arsenal was able to successfully, lock the clean sheet down in that game with 3-0 victory. Timber and Gabriel returning 6 points each. I had Tarkowski as well in my defense, who returned just 2 points in that loss, or rather in the victory against Fulham away from home. Unfortunately, he couldn't pick up DEFCON points. His DEFCON points tally in the last 2 games have been really low. I think it's due to the fact that they are now playing with all centre backs or rather mostly centre backs in their back line. So he doesn't really get enough DEFCONs anymore. So it's one to look at for one of my transfer targets in 26. Moving on to my midfield, I had Wilson, who I really expected to get more out of that game. It was a home fixture, and now he has failed to return in about 4 or rather 3 of his last 4 fixtures, returning just once in those previous games. So it's just been really hard luck for Wilson owners. Has a couple of tough fixtures coming, but then his fixtures turn again in 28. So want to also look out for Rice. No attacking return, but did return DEFCON points and kept a clean sheet. So got 1 clean sheet point to return 5 points in the game against Sunderland. Enzo Fernandez, unfortunately for him, Palmer was in the game against Wolves, so didn't get any of those penalty shares. Palmer got a hat-trick, Pedro returning 2 assists, Enzo just the 2 points. Couldn't get any point return in that game against Wolves. Bruno Fernandes, my captain, getting the 2nd goal to seal off the win against Tottenham over the weekend. Been really brilliant. One of the best players currently, in my opinion, in the Premier League. And he's just been on really good form since returning from that injury. No blank since he returned from injury. Nice return as 20 points. For 20 points as my captain. Moving up front, I had Thiago against Newcastle, who got a goal. Unfortunately, picked up a yellow card and lost out on bonus points as well, so he returned just 5 points. Bowen returning 2 points in that game against Burnley, which was really sad to see. Saw the likes of Somerville and Castellanos get on the score sheet. Bowen was nowhere to be seen, and he returned just 2 points. One I'm also keeping an eye out to move out on my team in 26. And Erling Haaland in the nut-cracking fixture, like we've always seen in the past couple of years against Liverpool, getting his first goal finally at Anfield. Also helping City clinch a home and away victory over Liverpool for the first time in 89 years. Got an assist for the first goal. Managed to bury off the penalty to get his goal, give City the 2-1 victory. So he returned 11 points and managed to score Bruno Fernandes as captaincy. So kudos to the FPL managers who decided to stick with him going into Game Week 25 as their captain. On my bench, I had Semedo, who returned 2 points. So it was subjectively worth it, because it was down to Thiago or Semedo to go with. Thiago returned 5, Semedo returned 2, so I guess 3 points gained. Goodmanson with just 2 points, and Mukiele with 1 point. Dubravka 1 point as well. A slight red arrow, still in 1.4. Didn't really hurt my rank that much. Could have been way better, but I'll take it going into the double game week, and then we'll see what we can get out of it, right? In double game week 26, I have a really good setup, right? Like I've said, my wildcard team set my team up really good. So far so good. I've had the triple Arsenal assets. In goal, I'm starting with Sanchez as well at home to Leeds. I with the way Chelsea's defense have been, they conceded late against Crystal Palace to a clumsy set piece. They conceded another clumsy set piece goal against Wolves. I honestly don't know what to expect. Leeds have been really good. We saw them, beat Nottingham Forest 3-1 at the start of game week 25. I expect Chelsea honestly to concede in this game, so I'm just hoping for clean sheet points. Then again, they may surprise me and keep a clean sheet, which I wouldn't mind. But Sanchez is going to be starting for me in goal, seeing as Dubravka is away at Palace. Defense obviously doubled up on Gabriel and Timber, and Gabriel is obviously also going to be my captain. I think he's going to be template captain this week, going into FPL Game Week 26. They are hosting Brentford and Wolves, or rather they're going away to Brentford and Wolves for a double game week 26, and it's the first double game week of the season, right? Gabriel is one of the highest scoring defenders in the game, so it's just a no-brainer, right? He has blanked just once since coming back from injury, and since that time he also returned about 2 to 3 double figure hauls. I honestly do see potential clean sheets. They still have the highest odds for clean sheet probability in these 2 games amongst every team in the Premier League. They're still the best defense in the league. So honestly, Gabriel captain isn't a bad idea. Not to say that you can't go with the likes of Gyökeres or Madueke as a differential. You have the likes of Havertz or Jesus that may feature in one or both of these games depending on the formation they decide to go with. But I'm stuck with Timber and Gabriel. Gabriel my captain, like I said. I have made 1 free transfer already. I had 2 free transfers going into the week, so I moved on Tarkowski to Daniel Munoz. Like I said in my last video, I love Crystal Palace fixtures going forward. Although they do blank in 31, I still don't mind having them because their fixtures in 32 and 33 are still really good. So I brought in Munoz at home to Burnley as my first free transfer going into double game week 26. Onto my midfield, I have Bruno Fernandes away at West Ham. I think we'll see Bruno continue his run of fine form for Manchester United. It is a must-win game for them if they hope to survive and keep their hopes of Champions League football alive. He has been the most pivotal player to the revival of Manchester United. So far, so good. 4 wins in their last 4 games. And attacking returns for Bruno Fernandes in all of the 4. So I think he keeps up his run of form against West Ham. It is going to be a little bit of a tight battle because West Ham are battling relegation, but I think Manchester United may edge this and Bruno Fernandes gets a couple of attacking returns as well. Enzo Fernandez, my second midfielder at home to Leeds. Hopefully he can pick up some attacking returns in this game. He has a decent enough home record. Chelsea's second highest goal scorer as well in the Premier League. I think Palmer got substituted early in the Wolves game, just to keep him fit and firing for subsequent fixtures that are coming up. So it just depends, right? Enzo could continue to get those minutes and possibly maybe get on the end of a goal. We may also see him get some penalty share if Palmer gets subbed off early again and Chelsea get penalty later in the game against Leeds. So he's going to start for me. My third midfielder is Rice, away at Brentford and away at Wolves for the double game week. I think honestly Rice is due a haul. He has accumulated a lot of XG over the past 4-5 game weeks, but we haven't just seen any goal return from him, which I think is due. I think he gets something in one of these games, so he's going to be my vice captain going into game week 26. My fourth midfielder is Semenyo at home to Fulham. Since coming into City, he has scored 2 goals for City in the Premier League. I think it's a home game. He's going to want to, come out, do something, get a goal, continue to keep his goal tally running. I think he gets something in this game, honestly. And compared to the options I have on the bench, he's just a no-brainer at the moment. So he starts for me at home to Fulham. And my fifth midfielder is Wilson, who I am looking at moving on. Now, I have 2 options, right? I could go for Brian Mbeumo or go for Rodgers. But I'm leaning more towards the Brian Mbeumo ship because I think for my game week 27, I would prefer to bring in Rodgers from them when the fixtures have fully turned for green, right? Maybe for someone like Rice or maybe Semenyo. So I am leaning towards double Manchester United attack at the moment. So I see myself going for Brian Mbeumo, but it's a close call. I may decide to go Morgan Rodgers because his fixture this week isn't that bad. It's at home to Brighton, and Villa have a really decent home record so far this season. So it's one of the 2 for me as my fifth midfielder. At the moment, it's still Wilson away at Manchester City, but I know that I'm going to be moving it to one of these players that I've mentioned. So it's just yet to see. Then up top, I have Haaland away at Fulham, or rather at home to Fulham. We saw him get a goal, albeit a penalty goal, but back on the score sheet for Manchester City in the Premier League. He has a decent enough record, and we know what Haaland's record at home is, so he's going to be my first attacker. My second attacker at the moment is Bowen, but I am going to attack the double game week and go for the likes of Mane at Wolves, who is a striker starting for Wolves, nailed on 90 minutes. He has had really good flashes of brilliance for Wolves in their last couple of games. Hit the woodwork against Chelsea in the last game. I think he can possibly get something out of one, if not two, of these games, honestly, for Wolves. So honestly, I just believe going for him just to attack the double game week, because either ways, having him for 2 game weeks, and even if he blanks, that's 4 points, right? Having any other attacker that blanks, that's 2 points, maybe even 1 point. So I don't feel it's so risky, and I am trying to chase rank, trying to get a better rank. So I think I would rather have a player with a double game week than a single game week. And downgrading Bowen would also enable me the money to upgrade Wilson to the likes of Mbeumo, Rodgers, possibly Florian Wirtz from game week 28 as well. So I just like the idea. I did bring Bowen, and I already had it at the back of my mind that I was going to be let him go after the Burnley game. So that is not to say Bowen isn't still a decent enough hold. He's nailed on 90 minutes, still keeps his penalty share and some set piece share, so he could still possibly get a return against Manchester United. But I just feel like attacking the double game week with players would just be a more likely move if you have the free transfers. I am taking a -4 to fund. I am going to most likely take a -4 if I do decide to make 3 of these moves, because I have just 2 free transfers. But they are moves that I don't mind making, and they also set me up nicely for some of the moves I have in mind for the coming game week. So on my bench, I have Thiago at home to Arsenal, who will go against Newcastle. Honestly, I may, if I do not make the move for Mbeumo or Rodgers, I may just bench Wilson and start Thiago, right? It's an option as well. I just don't know what the likelihood of Brentford scoring Arsenal is, but that's an option for me. Mukiele, I have him as well as my second asset on my bench at home to Liverpool, and Goodmanson away at Chelsea. Like I said, my captain at the moment is on Gabriel. My vice is on Declan Rice. Likes of Madueke, Trossard, Martinelli, and Gyökeres are really good standout differential options at the moment if you're looking elsewhere for Arsenal assets, or you're also looking for a differential captain. In my opinion, Mane, Hwang Hee-chan of Wolves, also decent enough options if you're looking at the Wolves assets going into game week 26. And there's also a lot going about triple captaincy this week. Honestly, it's touch and go for me. If you do believe the Gabriel triple captaincy will pay back more than 10 points, because 2 clean sheets in this game is 36 points. Triple captain, that's minus bonus points or DEFCON points if he does pick up any. So it's just, you weigh the risk of it, and then you just make your decision based off of that. But honestly, if you do decide to go triple captain, it's not the worst thing in the world, because most of the double game weeks that are coming up after this double game week are not really the best, and you do also have other chips that would likely want to come into play during that time. Also, a lot of fixtures, the title race may be over, a lot of things to put into consideration. So I am also thinking about the triple captain on Gabriel this week, but I haven't quite set I haven't made up my mind on whether I'm going to do that or not, but I know that I am captaining Gabriel going into this week. So this is what my team looks like. If you have any opinions or suggestions, questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to them as soon as I can, and I'll see you guys again in the next FPL video.